Yeah. So my homegirl sent me this article because she knows that I like talking about trends and the birth rate because its implications are huge. This is titled America's Teenage Population is Shrinking. America's teenage population is expected to shrink in the coming decade, while the number of 70 or over expands by 14.5 million. Think about the needs of retirees. Think about that, the medical needs, the housing needs, the needs to just help with everyday um, living activities. Think about that. It's expanding by over 14 million. So just put that in the back of your brain. According to the figures published on Tuesday by John Burns, a U.S. housing industry research outfit, the number of 15 to 19-year-olds will decrease by 700,000 between the years 2023 and the years 2033, as will the number of 10-year-old to 14-year-olds. Why is that important? Because the young people of right now become the adults of 10 years from now. Those are the people that will be in the birthing age and entering into the workforce. That is why this is so important. Chris Porter, chief demographer at John Burns, told Newsweek that it had derived the smaller proportion of teenagers at the end of that timescale from a general decline in U.S. births from 2007 to today. Teenagers in 2033 would have been born between 2014 and 2020, and we saw births during that period declining from nearly 4 million in 2014 to 3.6 million in 2020. As for the older population, we saw the largest rise in the population 60 years and older over the last decade. Okay, so here is the graph that he's giving with the population, the way it's skewing. The red are the women and girls. The blue is the boys and the men. I'm going to make this bigger. Before we get started with the bigger picture, I want to look at right now. There are always more boys and men from baby age up until the men get to be about 50. It becomes equal around 40 years old in those categories where you see the two yellow marks. But there are more boys born in this country than are women and girls, but then the men start dying off. You can look at how this pattern goes, and that is wild. But we already know that women have a longer life expectancy rate. But as you get up higher on the scale, between ages 70 and 74, there are more than a million more women than men. Ages 65 to 69, there's almost more of a million than women than men. And then as you keep going up and up and up, you still are seeing way more women than men. The pattern is still going to follow suit over here, but I want you to look at the top. 85 and older, less than 4 million men and 6.2 million women. Ages 80 to 84, 4.8 million men, 6.3 million women. 75 to 79, 7 million men, 8.5 million women. Whatever is going on in our society is going to impact women, older women, a lot more than older men. So we just need to also keep that in mind. So here is that graph that I was showing you. I was trying to make it a little bit bigger, but you can see how the shapes of these things are changing. And this is going from 2023 to 2033. As those people age into their 70s over the next decade, we'll see sizable growth in the older population. Longer life expectancies compared to prior generations is also a factor in this outsized growth. The United States fertility rate has fallen by 26% between 1971 and 2021, from a woman having on average of 2.26 children 50 years ago to less than 2 kids per woman now at 1.66. Experts say a variety of factors can contribute to decreasing fertility rates, from enhanced access to contraception to improved economic prosperity, as well as lower child mortality that makes mothers less likely to have more children. Meanwhile, John Burns expects the number of people aged 70 or over to boom from 40.8 million to 55.3 million by 2033. And the majority of that growth is going to be in women. And also talking about the variety of factors that are contributing to the decreasing fertility rates, people need to get real. Childcare costs are expensive. The lack of maternity care, the lack of medical care for women, the maternal mortality rate. People need to be real about why women out and the lack of participation of fathers in the lives of children and women talking about it, the whole married single mother phenomenon. People are opting out, women are opting out of having kids for lots more reasons than what's in this little blurb. This could pose a growing economic problem for the US, as an aging population would lead to fewer people entering the workforce while a greater proportion retire at the same time. This in turn means there will be fewer taxpayers to finance a greater number of pensions. Porter said the biggest wild card in the population projections was immigration, which has risen significantly in recent years and primarily consisted of working age people. This is one of the reasons why neither party really wants to fix this immigration issue, because they know that these people are coming here and our economic system will need bodies to work. And they're also going to need these babies that the migrants are having, because the people that are here are not really having babies. So both sides know and understand. So that's one of the reasons why I think they do not actually want to fix the problem of immigration. Over 1 million people became legal permanent residents in 2021, while the U.S. Customs and Border Protection statistics suggest there were nearly 2 million encounters with undocumented migrants the same year. There were a further 2.8 million encounters in 2022 and 3.2 million in 2023, a majority of whom were single adults. Porter said these levels of migration will have a noticeable impact in the near term before likely normalizing, providing a boost to the proportion of people aged 25 to 54, which had barely been growing at all in recent years. This part right here. This provides some relief to a tight labor market, he said. Also means stronger housing demand. We'll need housing for both renters and owners. This also likely means more than usual remodeling activity, as the growing population, 70 years and older, ages in place and spends their retirement savings. Understand that these people that are coming here, folks are looking at them as far as dollar signs. We need them to work. We need them to spend money. We need these taxpayers. We need them to have babies. Y'all, there's a reason for everything in this country. But questions remain as to what impact fewer teenagers will have on the American culture. Since the baby boomer generation, teenagers have had a major influence on what is at the forefront of the zeitgeist, from the pop wave of the 60s to TikTok influencers now. With the age group set to shrink, their dominant influence on cultural trends may wane with it. We'll see what happens with that. But these numbers are amazing to me. You guys jump in the comments and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. The emotionals are failing and flailing. Woman loses both feet after boyfriend pushes her onto subway tracks. Let's get into this story. A woman lost both of her feet after her boyfriend allegedly pushed her onto the subway tracks in New York City into the path of an oncoming train. I'm glad that this woman is still alive. The 29-year-old woman and her boyfriend were reportedly arguing at the Fulton Street subway station in Manhattan Saturday morning when he allegedly shoved her onto the tracks, police said. She was then struck by a southbound 3 train. NYPD officers responded to the station shortly before 10:30 a.m. to a report of a woman on the tracks. Officers found the victim conscious and responsive with injuries to her legs after being struck by the train. Police said both of her feet had to be amputated. The boyfriend allegedly fled the scene and no arrests have been made. The investigation remains ongoing. The incident comes days after New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced that New York National Guard troops and New York State Police troopers will be deployed into the subway system to target transit crime. These people are not okay. The amount of interpersonal violence is increasing, and these people are showing how emotionally unregulated they are. This is wild. This poor lady, but I'm glad that she is still alive. But we shall see if he gets arrested or if he takes the coward's way out and self deletes. All right, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, share. The way that our phones are really listening to us is wild. Yesterday, I happened to get Chick-fil-A, and then all of a sudden, this story starts popping up in my TikTok algorithm. This man, Ohio Chick-fil-A owner Stacy Austin, has been arrested for driving over 400 miles to North Carolina with ill intentions to meet a 15-year-old girl on a Sunday, of course. That is the story. Let's get into it. Chick-fil-A franchise owner caught performing sex acts with a 15-year-old North Carolina girl, deputies say. An Ohio man was arrested on Tuesday after being caught performing sexual activities with a teenager, according to the Rowan County Sheriff's Office. Deputies said they responded to a home after receiving reports regarding a breaking or entering incident. At the home, the owner told officials that they found 49-year-old Stacy Lee Austin inside with their 15-year-old child. An investigation revealed Austin drove to the victim's home from Belmont, Ohio, after communicating with the teen on social media. In these conversations, Austin tried to arrange to pick up the juvenile, and while he was at the victim's home, he performed sexual activities with them, according to deputies. Deputies said they were able to locate Austin's underwear in the trash can of a bathroom in the home, along with some of the juvenile's clothing. When questioned about the incident, Austin admitted the sexual acts to deputies and said he was concerned about losing his job as a Chick-fil-A owner in Ohio. Now, he's not worried about jail. At this point, he's worried about his job and his business. The thinking of these most logical people that we're supposed to follow and submit to is wild. Deputies said that Austin has been charged with a statutory sex offense with a child. He is being held in Rowan County Detention Center under no bond due to the Pretrial Integrity Act. WSOC TV reached out to Chick-fil-A, and a spokesperson provided the following statement. We have zero tolerance for the type of serious conduct alleged. Stacy Austin currently is an independent franchise owner, but as the investigation and legal process continues, he will not be present in the restaurant. 2024 has been a great find out season for many people. And this man, this almost 50-year-old man, messing with a teenage girl, this is deplorable. And I want so many more of these people to face the consequences of their actions. So may he get the consequences that he deserves. Y'all jump in. Let me know what you think about this one. So I was scrolling the news articles and I came across this article last night. Colorado Bureau of Investigation finds that DNA scientists manipulated data in hundreds of cases over decades. She was in this position for almost 3 decades. A now former forensic scientist with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation manipulated or omitted DNA test results in hundreds of cases in an internal affairs investigation found, which prompted a full review of her work during her nearly 30-year career at the agency. The CBI released the findings of the investigation into Yvonne Missy Woods on Friday, which concluded Woods' handling of DNA testing data affected 652 cases between 2008 and 2023, including posting incomplete results in some cases. A review of her work from 1994 to 2008 is also underway, according to the CBI. This discovery puts all of her work in question, and CBI is in the process of reviewing all of her previous work for data manipulation to ensure integrity of all CBI laboratory results. CBI brought a third-party investigative resources to protect the integrity of the inquiry. Woods, a 29-year veteran of the agency's crime lab, was placed on administrative leave in October after the CBI became aware DNA sample testing performed by Woods may have deviated from standard operating procedures, the agency said. She didn't perform any laboratory work thereafter and retired on November 6th. A separate criminal investigation into Woods' conduct is ongoing, and the CBI said it continues to work with law enforcement agencies across the state. Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser declined to comment on the criminal case against Woods, When contacted by CNN, the CBI internal investigation, which was conducted in collaboration with the Kansas Bureau of Investigation, did not find Woods' falsified DNA matches or fabricated data. It revealed Woods had omitted material facts in official criminal justice records, thus tampering with DNA testing results and violating policies ranging from data retention to quality control measures, the agency said. Public trust in our institutions is critical to the fulfillment of our mission, said CBI Director Chris Schaefer. Our actions in rectifying this unprecedented breach of trust will be thorough and transparent. In a statement to CNN on Friday, Woods' attorney Ryan Brackley said the findings support Woods' earlier statement that she's never created or reported any false inculpatory DNA matches or exclusions, nor has she testified falsely in any hearing or trial resulting in a false conviction or unjust imprisonment. Brackley said his client has been a loyal and dedicated forensic scientist during her time at the agency and has worked with and trained generations of prosecutors, scientists, and law enforcement agents. The agency said its forensic team discovered Woods' deleted and altered data that served to conceal evidence of her tampering, as well as her failure to troubleshoot issues within the testing process. The agency said Wood's manipulations appear to have been the result of intentional conduct. The CBI said it's also conducting a comprehensive audit of all DNA analysts to ensure the accuracy and completeness of its entire catalog of records. As part of this process, the agency said it discovered a separate case in which an analyst with the Weld County Sheriff's Office at the Northern Colorado Regional Forensic Laboratory may have also manipulated testing data. The Sheriff's Office announced last month it fired the data analyst as a result of an internal investigation. Boulder District Attorney Michael Dougherty told CNN in a statement his office has identified 15 open cases and 55 closed cases in which Woods has testified as a witness. For the past several months, prosecutors around the state have waited anxiously for information because of the impact on victims, the accused, and our ability to do justice. The district attorney's office did not have information on how many of his cases were affected by Woods' conduct, and emphasized it's too early to know whether any cases will need to be retried. The Office of Colorado's 4th Judicial District Attorney told CNN that CBI had informed them of 75 potentially affected cases within its jurisdiction, adding Woods was not used as an expert witness in any of those cases. Woods' faulty analysis led to wrongful convictions lawsuit claims. A week after Woods resigned from CBI, attorney Mark Burton filed a federal lawsuit on behalf of his client, 64-year-old James Hunter, who is currently in prison. The lawsuit identifies Woods as the lead scientist on his case and alleges Hunter was prosecuted and tried based on fabricated and false evidence. The suit claims Hunter was wrongfully convicted of a 2002 burglary and SA of a mother and her daughter by a suspect who was wearing a mask. Woods conducted an early microscopic examination of hairs collected from the crime scene, which was used as evidence to link Hunter to the crime, the lawsuit says. A preliminary hearing dismissed the charges against him after a separate examination found the hairs belonged to the victim. In acknowledging her error in the examination, Woods told the court it was a blow to her ego. But 10 months after the crime, new evidence of a hair was introduced into the case as evidence and used to indict Hunter for the same crimes, according to the lawsuit. There's no verification or record of collection of this hair from the crime scene by the Crime Scene Investigation Unit. Hunter was ultimately convicted on the charges based on the hair evidence, which was examined and tested by Woods. Last month, attorneys for Woods filed a motion to dismiss Hunter's complaints. The Jefferson County District Attorney's Office told CNN due to the criminal investigation into Woods' conduct, which includes labs in its jurisdiction, it is unable to comment. This is going to be bad. This is going to be costly and it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad because she not only did the DNA testing, but she was also a trainer. And I'm sure that if she's been doing this for, decades, she was probably the go-to person for crooked cops or prosecutors that just needed a little assistance. So this is going to be something that really has to be unraveled. And I am sure that a lot of people will be ensnared. And some people who have been locked into, gone away or had to pay costly legal fines because of this, they're going to want justice. This is very bad, and we definitely need to be following this case. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, share. So I saw this commercial about Miami breaking up with Spring Breakers a few days ago, and I was wondering how that would look in reality. So,
hey, we need to talk.
This isn't working anymore.
And it's not us. It's you. We just want different things.
Our idea of a good time is relaxing on the beach.
Hitting up the spa.
Or checking out a new restaurant.
You just want to get drunk in public and ignore laws.
Do you even remember what happened last March?
That was our breaking point, so we're breaking up with you.
And don't try to apologize and come crawling back. This isn't safe, so we're done.
And just so you know, we're serious.
This March, you can expect things like curfews, bag checks, and restricted beach access.
DUI checkpoints, $100 parking, and strong police enforcement for drug possession and violence.
Whatever it takes, because it's time to move on.
Maybe we can talk when you're done with your spring break phase, but until then.
this woman made a video talking about the things that the commercial didn't go into, because obviously some folks won't care that Miami wants to break up with spring breakers. Folks are going to go there regardless, but they will obviously be pushing up against new regulation.
Well, you're gonna have to find a fuck to give, because that little commercial did not tell y'all all of the rules that they're putting in place for spring break. So I'm gonna tell y'all all the rules, and then you can let me know if you still want to go to Miami for spring break. Okay, the following is illegal: consumption of alcohol in public, smoking tobacco or marijuana on beaches or in parks, possession or consumption of narcotics, driving under the influence, driving a scooter or vehicle irresponsibly, violence of any kind. And then prohibited on the beach are smoking cigarettes or filtered tobacco products, consumption of alcohol, narcotics and marijuana, large tents, tables, or similar structures, loud music, large coolers, glass containers, and styrofoam and plastic straws. And I'm not done. Short-term rentals. Many short-term rentals, including those purchased on Airbnb, booked for a time period of less than 6 months and 1 day, are illegal in the city of Miami Beach. And fines range from $1,000 per day per violation to $5,000 per day per violation. Now, every Thursday through Sunday in March, a flat parking rate of $30 will be in effect at city parking garages and surface lots in the entertainment district, but the flat parking rate does not apply to Miami Beach residents. Now, towing. The non-resident towing rate will be $516, double the normal rate. I mean, need I say more? Like, do y'all really want to go that bad? I mean, after reading all that, I would cancel my flight and blow up a kiddie pool in my backyard.
So this was an article from yesterday. You can't get rid of us. Spring breakers unbothered by Miami Beach trying to keep them away.
Nicole and Calvin, so definitely smaller crowds than years prior. Of course, one thing the city tried to implement this year was to break up with spring breakers, but that included beefing up security measures. We have officers across Ocean Drive right now, and some just congregated outside of what appears to be a nightclub. So the question remains, did the city break up with spring breakers?
We're like a toxic ex. You can't break up with us.
Toxic ex or not, spring breakers have piled into Miami Beach. As the sun went down and neon signs illuminated,
the spring breakers, they have a right to enjoy, but they don't have a right to destroy.
I think people just need to control themselves.
Unnoticeable police presence vamped up along Ocean Drive, both on foot and cycle. The beefed up security comes following recent years where the city has racked up nearly 600 spring break arrests.
Dropped our son off at Fort Lauderdale, which was loaded with young people, but here it doesn't seem like there's, that many.
The talk of the town.
Curfews, bag checks, and restricted beach access.
DUI checkpoints, $100 parking.
The city's move to break up.
This isn't working anymore.
With the breakers.
Miami has done a very, very good job of making sure, the safety procedures in place, but you can't cancel us.
We ain't never breaking up. We staying together forever.
Saw something on social media. Somebody put out why not to come here for spring break. I saw that. I thought that was interesting.
As for parking,
Said, you know what? Since the $100 parking fee, instead of walking, we're gonna ride the horses.
all right, so as for those safety measures or beefed up safety measures, those will take place Thursday through Sunday, this weekend and next. We're live from Miami Beach. I'm Samir Nafsi, Local 10 News.
Only on South Beach you ride a horse for spring break. Thanks, Samir.
Spring break in Miami Beach has taken on a different atmosphere this year, marked by increased police presence, barricades, and strict regulations. Visitors to the area are met with warnings of no open alcohol, no loud music, while roads remain closed to traffic with parking strictly enforced. One local employee noted the subdued streets, commenting on the removal of sidewalk restaurant seating as a notable change. Miami Beach police have adopted a more robust and proactive approach for one of their busiest seasons of the year, aiming to manage the influx of visitors more effectively. Feedback from beachgoers suggests an approval of the changes, with many acknowledging the need for stricter measures following previous year's chaos. Right now, it hasn't been too crazy, said one tourist. I like all the changes they have made. I come here every year around this time. I have a condo down the street and it is just a crazy madhouse, said a Miami Beach resident. I saw something on social media. Someone put out a why not to come here for spring break, said Reithman. It made sense to me after last year when there was a fiasco. Spring breakers have the right to enjoy, but they don't have the right to destroy. Bars. Despite the new safety measures in place, some locals said Miami Beach won't be able to get rid of spring breakers too easily. We are like a toxic ex. You can't break up with us, said one man. We ain't ever breaking up. We staying forever, said tourist Cheyenne Orr. The sentiment is echoed by city leaders who, while acknowledging the majority of visitors are well behaved, recognize the necessity of increased enforcement to handle disruptive behaviors. The city has made almost 600 arrests in recent years during spring break, and while leaders say the vast majority of those that come are good, they have to work double time to handle all of the bad. Miami Police Chief Wayne Jones emphasized that during a recent press conference, saying the deployment of additional officers aims to ensure public safety during high traffic spring break. Miami Police Officer Christopher Best said there have been no significant incidents as the city braces for what is typically a high impact weekend ahead. So you guys go ahead and chime in. What do you think about Miami Beach breaking up or trying to break up with the spring breakers?